at the New Economics Institute, and am really thrilled, really kind of hard to express how thrilled to welcome you all here tonight. This is an amazing space and an amazing group of people, and we've got a lot going on all weekend. And I just wanted to mention really quickly that for several folks in the room, students and NEI staff, this is really the culmination of months of work. They've been hosting events on their campuses. We've been supporting that work at NEI. And I think it's important to honor that, but I also wanted to recognize that it's pretty clear to me, just from being in this room, that this is also the beginning of something. And I am really excited about that. So I have a bunch of announcements that I'm going to make that are kind of boring. There are a couple of folks who have a few words for you, and then we're going to jump straight into the opening panel. But first, I would like, I know some of you are still eating, and I promise I'll let you go back to it, but I just want to get a quick sense of who is in the room. So if you could all stand up. Excellent. If you're willing and able. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to count to, first of all, just as a practice, I'm going to count to 3, and everybody's going to shout their own name when I count to 3. That's the first way we're going to know everybody who's in the room. Okay? Your own, however you would choose to present your own name. All right. 1, 2, 3. Wow. I know everyone's name now. Awesome. Excellent. Good first step. Okay, so now I'm going to be a little bit more specific. Can you shout your name if you took a plane here? Nico. How about a train? That was not shouting. How about if you took a train here? Cool. Did anybody walk here? Woohoo! Yeah! And what about if you're from New York? If you identify as being from New York? That was lame. If you identify as being from New York? It's complicated. Place is really complicated. True fact. And how about if you're a student? Oh, all right. Cool. And how about if you participated at any point this year in a campus network event, a New Economics Institute campus network event? Cool. Excellent. All right, cool. You can sit down and keep eating. Thank you. Okay, so I have just a few announcements to get us started. You all have programs, yeah? All right, awesome. So I wanted to quickly first, as you walked in the room, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a list of agreements hanging on the door. And I wanted quickly to just to have those stated out loud. So if you have your program and you want to open it up, and just throw a hand up in the air if you're willing to read one of these out loud, and we'll just go through in order. And by read, I mean you're going to have to stand up and project. Anybody? Otherwise, I'm going to start calling on people I know. Sarah!
Bullet point.
Yep.
Speak for yourself and make space for others to speak.
Sweet.
Assume best intentions. Don't assume you know where someone is coming from or how they learn best.
Take care of yourself. Take breaks if you need them. Drink water. Get a little sleep. Ask for help if you need it. I'm going to pause there. It's really, really, really hot outside. I have been dehydrated and rehydrated 3 or 4 times over the last 2 days. So please make sure that you're consuming a lot of fluids. Let us know if you're worried that you might have overdone it in the heat or whatever, just be real careful. Thank you. Who's next?
Take risks while respecting the space and the people in it.
Anybody?
No one is free until everybody is free.
Sweet. Can y'all twinkle if you are okay with those agreements? Can I see twinkles? I'm seeing some twinkles. Okay. I'm going to put up another blank piece of paper over there, and if people want to add their own throughout the weekend, they are free to do so. But I hope that we can all just be mindful of those things as we go through the weekend. Okay, so if you look through the program, there is just a ridiculous amount of awesome stuff in there. Too much to see all of the stuff that you want to see, probably. I wanted to really quick, at the suggestion of somebody who was at the hostel last night, just say there are several segments of the program throughout the weekend that are where we'll all be together most of the time in this room doing work in small groups, doing work as a group. We've got some incredible guest facilitators with us this weekend, and I just want to recognize them real quick. If Kieran and Jenna are in the room, are Kieran and Jenna in the room? They may be prepping for their. Okay, so Kieran and Jenna from the Aorta Collective are here, and they're going to be helping us out on Friday and Sunday with some open space time for us to really dig into framing questions together, and then on Sunday to figure out where we might want to be headed moving forward. And then Drew is also in the house. And Drew is going to be helping us specifically on Saturday and also moderating the panel right after I shut up. And let's see what else. It's a tight schedule. We would love your help in keeping on track. We will have folks who are helping with timekeeping and helping you to find the various rooms in this building. But we'll have a lot more time to mingle and get to know each other if we're able to move from one space to another relatively efficiently. And somebody last night at the hostel also asked about places to hang out after sessions tonight and tomorrow night. And this individual was really motivated by the desire to find cool places to hang out after and actually made a list for us. So I will put them out there if folks want to grab those. But also throw your hand up again in the air if you're a New Yorker. Find one of those people and ask them. They probably know where to hang after this. And thank you, Maria. Where's Maria? Where'd she go? There she is. Thank you, Maria, for putting that together. That's awesome. Awesome. All right, and I now just want to introduce some important people to this event, and they're mostly sitting over there. NEI staff and volunteers, can you just stand up for a second? And we'll just all stare at Mike, who's right in the middle of the room. So yeah, we should applaud all of these people a lot this weekend. And the other thing to notice is that we're all wearing yellow or orange bandanas, staff members and volunteers. So those are good people to ask questions if you have them throughout the weekend. Really quick, on behalf of Eli, our communications manager, a few things. We are, if you hadn't noticed, we're videotaping, live streaming, actually, quite a bit of this weekend. If you do not want to be on camera, we have waivers that you can sign, and we'll try to work something out. But it's an opt-out kind of thing. So if you do not want to be on camera, you can go to the registration table and you can fill out a waiver to opt out, and we'll go from there. We'll figure it out, figure out how to make it work. Sorry? If you want to see the live stream, that's a really good question. You're going to go to neweconomy.net. We have a new URL, www.neweconomy.net/reroute/live. And you should send that to folks who aren't here, who want to be watching. I'm going to quick, fast finish. So tweeting, we're going to be tweeting throughout the weekend. Is Renee here? Renee in the yellow hat is going to be tweeting for NEI at New Economics with the hashtag reRoute. So if you are there's no way he can be at all of those things. So if you are a tweeter and you're in a workshop that he's not in, or even if you're in a workshop that he is in, please tweet and use reRoute, and he will retweet you. Along those lines, if you are taking really awesome, beautiful illustrated notes all weekend, or like even not beautiful illustrated notes, but just ones that you think other people might enjoy reading if they haven't been to a workshop or a panel, please share those with us and we will get them out there. And I think that is all the announcements. Am I forgetting anything, team? Going once, going twice. Score. All right. Please let us know if there is anything we can do this weekend. What?
Silly.
Oh, thank you. All right, I'm going to finish my sentence and then I'm going to do that. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do this weekend to help make this experience what it needs to be for you. That's why we have created this space, is so that it can be what it needs to be for you. So let us know if that's not happening, if there's anything we can do. We also like to hear positive reinforcement if we are doing a good job of creating a nice space. Either one of those things, please come talk to us. And the last thing is, if you have a cell phone, take it out. Okay, so we have, for this weekend, a text loop, a Selly loop. It's not required that you join it, but we will be, for example, when you go out on your own for lunch, we'll text you 15 or 20 minutes before we get started and say, okay, in 15 or 20 minutes we're going to get started again, and various other important announcements through the weekend. So if you want to join the text loop, you're going to text to the number 23559, 23559, and the content of the message is @reRoute, @REROUTE, and you'll get instructions back. You'll get instructions texted back to you. Okay, cool. Are there any really burning questions at this moment? Awesome. All right, well then, without further ado, I am going to turn things over to Farhad Ebrahimi to welcome you on behalf of the NEI board.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Farhad Ebrahimi. I'm on the NEI board. I came to this work through years of working on climate activism. I run a foundation that funds grassroots organizations that are working on climate and environmental justice, and I also do a lot of organizing on my own. I'm really excited about reRoute, and as an example of why I'm excited, I wanted to ask two really easy questions. They're just yes or no questions, right? Raise your hand if the answer is yes. So, who here feels like our current economic system doesn't work for everybody? Okay, that's an easy one. Very easy. Who here feels like they can concisely articulate what a new economic system would look like using terms and language that would resonate for folks outside of this room? Okay, if you raise your hand, I don't believe you. And that's why we're here, is I think we're all trying to find that out together. I think this is not something where we're simply going to produce solutions that are going to resonate right out the gate and everybody's going to pick them up. This is a social movement. This is about trial and error and risk-taking and struggle. And I think social movements are people who know each other. They're people who come to spaces like this to have conversations with each other. They're people who share the stories of where they come from or where they've been working, or just stories of places that they know about. And I'm really excited that we're all here to do that, because I think each one of our stories is part of the whole. There's a quote that somebody told me it was a quote of Conrad, and I'm gonna just keep on saying that's true. I don't know if it actually is, but he was talking about art, and he was saying every atom of art has to reflect the intent of the whole. And I think social movements are the same way. So all of us are bringing an atom of that with us. I want to encourage everybody to share that with each other, but I also want to encourage us to see like what is our collective story, and how are we doing all of this work together. We're making the path by walking it, or slightly riskier building the boat as you sail it, or still riskier building the plane as you fly it. But I want to emphasize that we're learning this stuff together, and this is about conversation. And from a board perspective, it's just very exciting to see a bunch of folks coming together to talk about this stuff, build relationships with each other, and move it forward. So thanks very much.
I'm not even going to come all the way back up. I'm just going to introduce the president of the New Economics Institute, Bob Massey, who has a few words for us.
Thank you. Institute, and I want to thank every single one of you for coming. You have an incredibly important role to play. And I want to give some positive feedback to the NEI team. You've done an amazing job already, I think. So I'd like to thank you for everything that you've done. Now here's something that you all know. Farhad just proved it. The fundamental structures of our economy and our environment and our democracy and our society are broken. We see this in a worsening of inequality of income, of wealth and opportunity, created by a system of finance that actually extracts money from the bottom and refocuses it on the top. I don't know if you happen to look at the New York Times front page today. It said that the big banks made profits in the last 12 weeks of $23 billion. And I don't know if you also noticed that the city of Detroit, which used to be the 4th largest city in the United States, just went bankrupt because it owes $19 billion. I have some thoughts about where the $23 billion might go, but it's not going to go there. We have seen an ever-deepening addiction to mindless growth that is damaging our planet and violating our most basic principles of justice. We have seen, and there's no other word for it, the outright corruption of our democracy through the tentacles of corporate power. And we have seen the suicidal devastation of climate crisis, which affects primarily not the people at the center, but the people on the edge of the world and in this country. These are things that you already know. But here's something you may not know. People in America are steadily waking up. Now, you wouldn't know it from the traditional media, you wouldn't know it from our elected officials, but you would know it if you're paying attention to the internet, you pay attention to groups like this and many, many others. Americans are beginning to understand that these problems are taking place, and they are taking action now in hundreds of different ways, and that's why we are here today. The new economy movement, as a movement, is already pursuing thousands of ways to create a just and sustainable world. It is rising up across the nation. And every day, and I'm very privileged in my position, I learn about new groups and new people every day. It's one of the most exciting parts of my responsibilities. I learn about new people and new groups that are confronting old structures of oppression and failure and focused, organized ideas and power of young people. You have special gifts and privileges. Your eyesight is better than the older generation who can no longer fully see the future. You can see that from me. Your voices are stronger You can see around curves and corners, and you are not yet tied down by the confusion and complications and compromises that slow so many people. Now, here's an important thing. This has always been true in American history. It has always been the young who pushed the country to young, who dared not just to imagine, but to demand a new way of life, and then who built the power to achieve those demands. So you have taken vital steps already, and you've taken another one by coming here today. And over the next 2 days, you will be sharing and learning and dreaming and planning, and I hope organizing. You may feel that the powerful in this country are doing everything they can to marginalize you and your vision. That is true. But if you can take your passion and link it to the passion of everyone else here, that will not matter. This country and this world, whether they know it or not, whether they admit it or not, whether they are ready or not, need you. And over the next days, months, years, over your lifetimes, you are the key that can unlock a different future. It is a great responsibility, but one for which you are ready. Indeed, I have to tell you, there is no one else standing in the wings who is more ready. Gathered here, you have a historic opportunity to act on behalf of those who suffer without voice. These opportunities don't come along often. Now is your chance. Now is your obligation. Now is your duty. And I urge you to seize it. Are you ready? Yeah. I couldn't hear you. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
So we have to give Bob another applause because not only did he just give a really inspiring few words, he also stayed within the time limit. Round of applause. Means that we get a little break. So I am our panel is ready to go. We're gonna start promptly at 6:45, which is in 11 minutes by my count. So mix, mingle, head to the restroom, which is right outside if you need to, grab a little more food if you'd like, and then we'll let you know about 2 minutes before we get started. Thank you.